Hello and welcome back to another episode of Generation Ochi. My name is American Ben, and today I want to break down all of the evil spirits in the Uncanny Counter. We've done a breakdown on the counters themselves already, but I feel like the evil spirits also deserve their due. They may be a murderous bunch, but they're not too hard to digest. Anyway, let's review what the Uncanny Counter is once more before getting started. The plot, set in the fictional South Korean city of Jungjin, follows a group of demon hunters called Counters. Counters are tasked by higher powers in a realm between the physical world and the afterlife known as Young with tracking down and returning evil spirits to the afterlife. These evil spirits are able to break into the material world in the first place only by possessing compatible human hosts, as in people who have murdered or are prone to murder. Now, there's a whole lot more to the plot of the show, but we've covered all that and we'll cover all of that in our other videos on it. Today, we're focusing on the evil spirits in the show, of which there are a few different types ranked by level. Level 1 spirits are spirits that have just entered a body, meaning that they haven't ingested any further souls and are relatively weak. Level 2 spirits have at least collected one further soul and are a bit stronger, though some spirits stay at level 2 even after killing more people and ingesting their souls. How quickly spirits increase their level depends on how compatible the hosts they possess are. Then, level 3 spirits have eaten at least 4 souls and can speak in 2 voices. Finally, in rare circumstances, when a particularly strong spirit has swallowed enough compatible souls, they can ascend to level 4, which means that the evil spirit and host have become one and experience a tremendous increase in power and ability. Evil spirits exist mostly just to hurt others and engage in nefarious activities. But it is noteworthy that when they're alone or with other evil spirits, they don't just sit around cackling. Rather, they have seemingly normal relationships with other people.
화장실. 나 진짜 더러워서 같은 공간에 있기 싫어.
This all speaks to one of the fundamental questions the show raises as to the difference between evil spirits and just plain evil people. But let's save that for our hidden message video on the Uncanny Counter, which we hopefully have published by now, but if not, is coming soon. The only serious threat to evil spirits' free reign over the material realm is the Counters, and when they're defeated by a Counter, the Counter will exorcise their spirit from their hosting body. This returns the body to its original personality, which is usually still depraved, but perhaps a touch less so. Meanwhile, the spirit heads to the eternal prison by way of Young, where they will be preyed upon by mud-bathing cannibals for all of eternity. Though I suppose there are worse fates. To be honest, this seems like a very comfortably lit spa. I mean, I hate light. Look at me, I'm a damn vampire. Anyways, now let's get to breaking down the evil spirits themselves, and let's start with the spirits less central to the main storyline. In the first episode, there was the spirit who hit his girlfriend with a brick. We again used this event to demonstrate to So-mun how evil spirits operate. In episode 2, the Counters tracked down this evil spirit, a deadbeat dad and husband who beat his wife and child. He was a level 1 spirit,
1단계라 저 혼자 다녀도 돼요.
meaning he was recently possessed. When the Counters got to him, his wife had already smothered him, and so this was an easy exorcism for them. We were also introduced to the evil spirit Mr. Han at the end of episode 2. Mr. Han was either a level 2 or 3 spirit according to Hana, and he had eaten at least 3 souls at the time the Counters started tracking him.
최소 3명 이상 먹었을 거예요. 몇 단계? 2단계면 좋겠지만 3단계일 수도 있어요.
Mr. Han kidnapped a little girl and a person who appeared to be her father, a man who employed Mr. Han at his stonemasonry company. Ever a gentle guy, he beat the stonemason to death, and through Mun's psychic ability, we discovered that he had murdered 2 hikers and took their souls. Mr. Han was skilled in combat, and his main weapon of choice was some sort of spike-like weapon. He almost overpowered Mun, but a territory shift allowed Mun to gain the upper hand and put him down. This was the first soul that Mun exorcised. He was a very wrathful spirit, as we saw him trying to attack Mun in Young. But I mean, at the gates to hell, why not try it? Next, in episode 7, we met Man-ho, Hana's uncle and a level 2 spirit.
우리 삼촌.
삼촌. 야, 씨, 이거 재밌네.
몇 단계야? 2단계예요.
Manho stole Hana's father's construction firm from him and took over the company, leaving Hana's family in dire financial straits. Manho had a tendency to beat his employees. When one of his employees, Sung-woo, stopped him from hitting a coworker, Manho strangled him in the bathroom. Other than that though, great guy. The Counters tracked Manho down just as he was about to beat a man to death for serving him bad noodles.
너 같으면 이 부러터진 면발이 입에 들어가겠냐? 응?
Hana kicked his ass, and then Mrs. Chu contemplated preventing any Manho Juniors from entering into the world. Mun then exorcised his spirit. Post-exorcism, the police used Sung-woo's employee keycard to ID Manho as his murderer, and they arrested him. There were also a few evil spirits that we saw in the last episode. First, there was the gambling addict riddled with debt who injured his mother and sister before the Counters took him out and left him for the police to apprehend. And then there was the killer K-pop gang who faced off with the Counters as the season came to a close. Finally, we get to the main evil spirits. First, there's my personal favorite evil spirit, Bakyang-hee, a level 3.
지청신 백형이가 3단계.
She first appeared in episode 5 when she walked into the same coffee/bakery shop that Chung-sin was in. He could hear her evil spirit talk telepathically. Hyung-hee was big on marrying rich men and then murdering them and taking their money. She killed her last husband by feeding him a smoothie with peanut butter in it, which was the equivalent of a toxic cocktail given his peanut allergy.
죽을 것 같아? 주스에 넣은 땅콩 때문에?
She then stole his money electronically. We then witnessed her speak to the voice of her evil spirit in the bathroom mirror.
내가 보여? 너 뭐야? 너 뭐야?
This is someone who at this point was not fully aware that an evil spirit was controlling her. Hyung-hee was a greedy woman who lusted for money. She'd lie, cheat, steal, and kill to get her hands on valuables. Sometimes she'd even kill just for the hell of it, perhaps out of envy. She also had a sarcastic, maniacal wit to complement her callousness.
다 같이 모이니까 너무 좋다. 꼭 동창회 같네? 지랄하네요.
And unlike Chung-sin, she hated kids.
애가 싫어서 내 애도 안 낳는데 남의 애들을 왜 보냐고.
And she was untrustworthy even to other evil spirits as she took off with Chung-sin's voice recording of Mayor Shin. Hyung-hee could easily hold her own in a fight and was able to overpower individual counters here and there. And she was tough and feisty, even refusing to go down after getting hit with a taser. She also had psychic power as she read Hana's memories by touching her. Eventually, Hana defeated her in hand-to-hand combat and exorcised her spirit. Though post-exorcism, she still seemed rather diabolical and noisy.
잠깐만. 그럼 내 얼굴을 왜 이런 건데 누가 이랬는데? 야! 너가 잘못했다니까!
But luckily, this boss woman right here politely asked her to be quiet. Next, we have the show's central antagonist, Chung-sin. Chung-sin was an orphan who was raised in a children's home where he was abused by the headmaster. The scar on Chung-sin's head was actually caused by the headmaster. Eventually, Chung-sin was adopted by a man named Bai Sang-pil, a man he came to call Dad. Unfortunately, Sang-pil was a villainous man who also abused Chung-sin and inducted him into a life of crime. For most of the show, Chung-sin was a level 3 spirit.
몇 단계?
2단계 같아요.
같아?
3단계일 수도 있어요.
잘 가라.
3단계는 2개의 목소리가 나온다면서요.
And he certainly displayed the power and prowess of a level 3. He, like Counters, had superhuman jumping ability and could land from height with no ill effects on his bones. Of course, if he could absorb falls from height, then as you may have expected, he could also absorb strikes, even from Counters, with little or no damage taken. He also had advanced combat skills punctuated by tremendous punching power. However, his lay hand-to-hand skills were just child's play. He also had a whole host of psychic powers. He could move objects and control people telekinetically. We saw him use this power a few times to force people to shoot themselves with their own guns. He could also use his psychic power to execute a sort of telekinetic energy blast which would send enemies flying. He was also able to read people's memories by touching them just as Hana can. Now, Hana could use her psychic ability to enter herself and others into memories. However, Chungshin was so powerful that he could sense when other psychic people had entered a memory he was involved in, and he could then infiltrate that memory himself and attack the people in it. Actually, it seemed like he could even phase in and out of memories as he pleased. Chungshin also went around recruiting other evil spirits into his evil gang, and he was able to do so rather easily because he could sense evil spirits around the city from afar.
저 새끼야?
아니, 저 작은 새끼. 아직 저 안에 있는 친구가 깨어나질 않았어.
One of the evil spirits he recruited to be his henchman was Jung-soo. According to Hana, Jung-soo was a level 2 spirit.
아까 제가 본 놈들은 둘 다 2단계였어요.
같이 다녀야 돼. 1대1로 붙지 마.
Jung-soo was an emotionless killer.
뭐야?
거지 같길래 죽였어요. 탈 없을 겁니다.
He also had a penchant for eating people.
배고파요.
배고파.
Again, though, at least he's not a murderer. However, he eventually tried to eat the wrong person, a little boy who Chungshin cared for. I hate when that happens. This led Chungshin to kill Jung-soo. However, after he ingested Chung-soo's spirit, he seemed to take on some of Jung-soo's taste for human flesh, but ultimately he fought off this side of his personality. Chungshin also had a second level 2 evil henchman in his crew, but took his soul as well when he needed a quick pick-me-up. Eventually, Chungshin swallowed enough compatible spirits to become a level 4 spirit. However, soon after, he was defeated by the counters who used a special barrier to take him out, and he ended up shooting himself. Of course, because Chungshin shot himself and thus the counters did not successfully exorcise him, his spirit transferred to Mayor Shim Young-hui's body, an apt choice given the mayor's corrupt actions and the fact that he had recently tried to kill himself and was thus incapacitated and not using his body anyway. Once possessed, Mayor Shim became a completely malicious killer who existed to feast on souls. He could also track evil spirits from afar and even communicate with them telepathically.
해줄 일 좀 있어.
살아있었던 거야?
He was dominant in hand-to-hand combat and proved able to take on many counters at once. Mayor Shin also displayed the true power of a level 4 evil spirit with his advanced telekinetic powers. He could, of course, like Chungshin, control other people's bodies and move objects with his mind. However, he almost exclusively used telekinesis in battle. His telekinetic energy blasts were highly powerful, and his strikes were combined with his psychic ability for extra impact. He was also able to take control of a truck and its driver telekinetically. Of course, we learned from Mayor Shin that level 4 evil spirits can actually switch bodies as they please, as we saw when Chungshin's spirit switched back and forth between Mayor Shin and his son, Shin Hyuk-woo. Eventually, it was Mun who took out Mayor Shin and exorcised Chungshin's spirit from him. Anyway, that is our breakdown of all of the evil spirits in the Uncanny Counter. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. Let me know what I missed down in the comments below. Remember to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a damn thing. For now, my name is American Ben, Generation Ochi. Peace.